to our main thing and back at it again
Okay.
after 5 minutes of arguing with Tyler about his
Beards.
beard. Oh, you should have to shave your beard on principle for saying something too. Use the word "bay." I'm gonna smack you.
Yeah, I use it.
Yeah, you should. Like,
It's funny how that started. I used it ironically.
it doesn't
Like, 'cause
matter.
I hate it.
It's
I
like,
hated it.
Like, doesn't matter. Like, you used it, and I want to like beat you. Like, I was gonna be like, well, next time I see Tyler, we're going takedowns just because he used the word "bay." Like, and he's not even gonna know why.
I use it.
He's gonna get out of his dad car, and then he's just gonna get hit with
See,
it.
that
Like,
was just uncalled for. That was uncalled for bringing the car into this.
I like
is
the
not-
car.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
yeah, I'm a dad.
I've got gas for days in it. I've got room, cargo space, like all
Car
of
seats
that.
and all,
Yeah,
everything.
car seats. But yeah, no, I mean it's like
Car seats holding his beard gel in the back.
are the cases
Uh,
the cases of beard oil that I'm buying. The one I've got right now. It's actually a bourbon scented beard oil, and I kind of like it. It smells nothing like bourbon. I don't know why it's labeled as that. It just smells like leather or something. But
yeah.
yeah, I bought it from my barber, and I was like, I actually really like it, and it's nice.
Hunter Allen, he joined. He doesn't have a beard,
Yeah, I know. I was about to give him a shout out. Like Hunter doesn't have a beard, but he can still like.
but he's still manly. Yeah.
I didn't say he wasn't.
I know. I thought you said everybody without a beard was not manly.
I never.
Hunter,
said
I say
that.
you should fight him now.
I never said. I said.
I will fight him for you.
I said. Be more manly with the beard.
Nah, yeah, I know. I'm pulling a D and throwing words in your mouth right now, so it's
Oh
kind
my
of fun.
God, yeah, right?
You two have been getting after it lately, and it's
Okay,
been really
some of
fun
it-
because I know you've been like,
Some
You
of
know,
it's
like, just
mainly
poking out.
because I get bored throughout the day, and I'm like. Oh,
it's an
what should
easy
I
pick.
do?
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like,
yeah, because
it's there.
if you say anything, he responds. He can't help
Like
it.
it's low hanging fruit. Like and the funny thing is half the time I don't even believe the stuff I'm talking about. Like the whole one with the softball uniforms wearing gray.
Yeah.
I thought those uniforms looked cool. I just was bored and wanted to mess with them.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
it's
I had
usually good.
I really have no issue with them. Honestly,
Yeah, well,
in retrospect.
because like it's any school colors can be used with black, white, gray. And I
Yeah.
think the gray involves a dark or light gray, and whatever your actual colors are.
Okay.
If you know.
Yeah, he was about to pull the example out of like gray being a shade of white, and I'd have like, well, okay. I mean,
Well,
we
then
can
he
make that
pulled up the
argument
one
for
thing that
anything.
talked about the use of gray to. And I was like, dude, that's just like them saying other things. That's not wasn't the actual like. I don't think the actual
Yeah.
athletic color scheme usage of things.
Well,
was
if
a
you look
different
at
thing.
buildings, like you know how when you look at maps, they
Well,
label
and then
different
and
colors.
also this isn't a knock on Clemson,
Yeah.
but this is a knock on like everybody really. And then because it said an adding of gray for the diversity of because that's the new pop word is diversity and gray is a neutral color. I'm like, might as well just throw a rainbow up in there too, you know, and have like a rainbow uniform if you want to.
Well, that was the point of it. He said,
You know, like it's just like at what point
Yeah.
like you don't have to say all that like to say all that you're kind of defeating the purpose of including everybody by making a point to show that you know like just
Yeah. Well, that
just
was
let
the
your
point that I
actions
made.
speak louder than words and
Yeah.
just be inclusive of everybody and be a good school, be a good program. And like I said, this wasn't a knock to Clemson. This was
No,
and it was only
everyone
because
does it, yeah.
it was only because that was the school we were talking about. But I think everybody should be that way.
Yeah.
We should all be kind to everybody. We should all like include everybody, but you shouldn't have to go out of your way to point it out and to say that you're doing it because now is it genuine?
No.
Because then now we're getting into that time of year and we're getting way off topic. We're getting into that time of year of politics and and things like that. And I was watching one of the ads because unfortunately it's a different day and time also with the way you watch things. Like so we were streaming shows. Vikings, by the way, is what we were watching. And
Fun fact,
now that
you're still salty about me spoiling.
a little bit, yeah. But that episode was great where she died. So, but spoiler alert for. Never mind. We're gonna stop talking about who's and what's. But anyway, so instead of
Look at
like
the hand
regular,
thing.
instead of regular traditional commercials,
Yeah.
so like when you watch something online that has, it's not like when it's not Netflix and it throws an ad in there every now and then. Unfortunately, they show the same ad every time it comes up. At least back in the day when you watched commercials, you got different commercials. I mean, you'd have some that are the same, but at least you got different commercials, right? Anyway, long story short, it was a political ad, and every time the same political ad came up, the more and more I noticed things. But I'm like, oh, like they're going out of their way to only show minorities
Yes.
like the people. I'm like,
Yes.
you know, like it's like you're overdoing it by doing things like that, or you're only showing females, or you're only you're hitting a target audience, but by doing that, like you're
You're actually excluding others.
Yeah, that's kind of what that's what it felt like.
It's
more
kind of
so.
contradictory, and that's the same issue I had with like the Star Wars, the newest Star Wars movie. I was like, it almost the past two actually, well not the past two canon ones as far as the saga goes with 8 and 9 is that it seemed like, and I have no problem with like strong female roles. I'm okay with that, but it seemed like they were really overdoing it to the point where it's like you kind of get what they're doing. You're like, it's a little obvious that what you're trying to do.
There was I noticed like there's a difference between, I really enjoyed the scene in like I guess it was Endgame when like all the females showed up and there was all of them versus everybody. It was awesome, but at the same time you could tell what they did.
Whereas they did in Infinity War too.
So they brought them all together, which was kind of cool. But I remember watching the Lord of the Rings movies. Like, did you ever watch those?
No, I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan.
All right, love Lord of the Rings.
I just don't have 16 hours to sit and watch a film.
He says that after quoting like some Star Wars stuff. So let me.
Well, that's because it's cool.
Yeah, they're both cool. Like, look, we're about to go takedowns up in here. I'm gonna first move Kyle Dake, who is gonna come back as my co-host here in a minute, and get rid of Tyler again. Or go find the little monkey Henry who says I have no listeners.
Oh wow, that was funny. So hateful.
It was, but it was funny. But like they had two scenes in that movie that were like some of the best scenes in the movie, and one of them was when like one of the female elves goes across the river, and all like the Black Knight or the Black Nazgul, like they're chasing her down and stuff like that, and they're like, give us the halfling or whichever. And she's like, if you want him, come and get him. And it was just like a strong, powerful female role, and it was like, whoa, like she's the one that said it, but it didn't feel forced or something like that.
Alien.
And then
Sigourney
Weaver.
Yeah.
Did not feel forced off. Felt like the perfect female lead role.
And you're just like, okay,
and she was BA. G.I. Jane was kind of the same way, even though that was definitely one that was geared toward men. But that was good. And then the other line from the Lord of the Rings movie was like, it was a big battle scene and it was really cool. And one of the Nazgul bad things was like no man can kill me or no mere man. And she was like, rips off her helmet. It's like, well, I am no man. And like cuts his head off. And I was like, powerful line, well played, perfectly executed. You know, without feeling like a forced type of thing.
That's the thing about the Avengers is with they kind of painted themselves into a really bad spot in a way with the Captain Marvel thing, just because it's like, what was she doing this entire time? Like, she could have easily come in and stopped all of this, but the fact that she didn't just shows that either one, she doesn't really care about like the human race and all that.
So the rabbit was right. What you been doing? Getting more haircuts?
Exactly. Like, there's that. Or the fact that, you know, it's just like, oh, she might agree with Thanos and she only calls, like, because she's like a mercenary for hire, in a sense. Yeah. Which is both are, anyway. It's like she's not as good. And the same with, Star Wars. Same with Star Wars. I have no problem with Carrie Fisher. I loved Carrie Fisher. But, like, there's...
How can you not, really? I mean, if you're a fan of the show.
It's just, there was, like, with this last film, there was that one scene, like I said, that just really kind of, like... It kind of, like, dug at me a little bit, and I'm like, that's just not cool. Like, so it was the scene, like, spoilers ahead, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The scene where Carrie Fisher, or Leia, there's, like, a little flashback, and it's, like, basically where she takes out Luke during training, and then it's just like, oh, okay, so we've been programmed to believe that Luke's, like, the most powerful, like, Jedi that's currently in existence, yada, yada, yada. And then you just kind of like in one scene, just kind of like giant middle finger, like, oh, nope, just kidding, that's not true. And I was just kind of like, wow, that was really not cool.
Yeah.
Now, if they would have done that from like the very first start, like back at like old movies, and like, or had that dynamic where it's like which one's actually more powerful, then it would have been fine. But the fact that we've had all these movies where it's been like that, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, bam, he's no longer the most powerful. Like, I was just like, that's kind of. Like I said, it really shows that it's like you're trying to force that kind of agenda, and it's the same thing I hate about going to concerts sometimes, like musical concerts, is that the musicians will start talking about, like, if they make like a political statement, cool, but when they start overdoing it, you're like,
oh yeah. I get it. Like, that's your platform, and you want to say something, but like, be quick about it. And let's get on with the show, because not everybody's gonna agree with your platform.
Yeah, like
as much as you wish everybody did.
I didn't pay to come. I paid to come. I came time and all this stuff, and it's like I genuinely don't care about your political opinions at this moment.
I mean, it's the same thing with, like, football. I mean, I've got my 49ers gear on, and I'm going to wear it the rest of this week, Super Bowl week and whatnot. And, you know, people get upset with the NFL, and they're like, they hate teams, and my team was hated for a long time because of some of his political opinions and whatnot.
Colin
And,
Kaepernick.
you know, and look, I didn't mind him. I loved him as a player, and it didn't stop me from loving my team or
Yeah.
cheering my team on, things like that. Because of what? Because when I wanted to watch football, I wanted to be entertained to watch football. I was able to say, I don't really care about your political opinions. I just want to
So
see
you
you
got a new
play.
doorknob.
Yeah, I had to finally get that fixed too. So, ADD, butterflies.
No, I just happened to
flies.
see it was shiny, and I was like, oh, what's
Yeah.
that?
So, like, you know, I mean, I watch football to be entertained by watching football.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not there to watch to see what you're doing on the sideline to pay. I mean, some people are into that, and that's just not why I'm watching the game. You know, so
Ooh, so did you know, and I don't want to get morbid here, talking about sports and all that. Everyone knows Kobe Bryant died the other night, or the other morning. Super tragic. Did you know who else died on that same day?
I mean, other than all the.
Well, I'm talking about the
people-
same day in history, I guess.
Oh,
Big
no,
name.
okay.
Dave Schultz.
The 26th?
Mhm.
It was Sunday the 26th?
January 26th.
Yep.
I didn't realize that until they posted it, because they had posted.
Yeah, it's been a lot of remembering Dave stuff, and then
It
I
was
looked
like-
at the date on it just
Yeah, I was
actually
like,
today
oh.
about it.
They said
And,
today's like, or it's like
Remembering
this.
Dave, yeah, and
Yeah.
it was the stuff, and really, when I saw the 26th, it just made me think because that's my sister's birthday,
Mhm.
so I was like,
Yeah, so I mean, in a way, it's like two sports legends, like really, died that day, and it's super tragic. But I don't want to get into all that. It's
yeah,
still
because
fresh.
I got a whole lot of other things about that are kind of
Yeah.
but
That's.
I'm in Calisful, or
Yeah,
or
I mean,
Calisful. but-
I'm gonna let people mourn right now, which I mean, it's sad. Don't want to. Basically, just kind of let it settle down before anything's talked about, I guess.
All right, so finally on to wrestling talk.
Yeah.
All right, so what I was gonna get at, and I was gonna hit you with before we got way off.
Brock
way
Lesnar.
off.
Oh, not that kind of wrestling. Gotcha.
Well, actually, but he did wrestle. So anyway,
Oh yeah, I mean,
the
well,
Olympic,
yeah, he did.
this is the Olympic year, and I think we have an amazing load of depth to our team right now,
to a detriment.
and to a detriment and to a fault of, and that's where I'm going with this, is to the fault of, like, Olympic weights are horrible because we go from 10 to 6, but they're also the best thing ever because now we have super brackets.
Ah, yes.
Which is horrible and great at the same time. Like, everybody should have their spotlight. We should have a gauntlet run, like we've talked about before. Like, imagine, going from Burrows to Dake to Taylor to Cox to Kyle. Imagine if we had that, because if everybody had their weight. But we don't, so we have what we have now, where they're all who's gonna wrestle off who's gonna be at what weight, who's gonna be the rep,
I
who's
wish they
gonna
would
do all
have
that.
like two more
you know.
classes.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the sport of wrestling, we as fans would like to have that, and it would be awesome, and I would love to see
I mean, I just feel
more
6
people have a
is too.
chance.
I feel 6 is too limited. But
I mean,
that's
it's
a discussion for a whole nother time.
It's a whole different discussion. But to the sense of the detriment of what we have here is, with all those people log jamming, is I honestly wonder if we will see some sort of mass exodus of our athletes, because everybody's already talking about hinting at MMA, hinting at MMA, or many have even already said, and ones that I'm going to be honest, like, I think they're great, fantastic wrestlers. I don't think are making the team, or they won't be our rep, but they've already said after this run, they're going MMA. Bo Nichols, one that said he's going to go MMA after
I
this
will
run.
say this: he
I
needs to
don't
go
think-
as soon as he possibly can.
But
I'm not gonna like. This might sound a little catty.
Contradictory for
Well,
more.
not, maybe contrary, but like a little catty. It's just after what I saw him, how he competed last tournament, I really think that
He
if
already checked out too.
He's checked out. He doesn't need to be there.
But it's not just him, but like Bryce Meredith has said it, and Bryce Meredith is a top wrestler, don't get me wrong, but I don't know which exact weight he's going to be at, but right now we kind of have like our superstars that are at top, and we've got these guys right there, but like, daggum, some of these guys could still continue to stick around for another cycle, and when the weights spread back out, be still world champs. And like I was saying, my worry is that we're going to see almost too much of a mass exodus, and then who's going to be left, and we're getting to that stage where, Burroughs is he going to be the man? Is he going to be that lion that turns around and, shows the Young Bucks one more time, this is his spot, his thing? or is it finally somebody else taking over, and then is that going to signal his retirement? But those that are right there, some of them are also now getting a little bit older because they've been waiting so long.
We talked.
Is it time for a new? Old. Yeah, but is it time for it to be all fresh, new young guys like Fix, Lee, Suriano, Yanni? And is it Virginia Tech, the guy who just won NCAA's? I mean, he's going Makai Lewis. Is it just time now for all young bucks to now run our mantle, or in that depth that we have, are they all going to go ahead and decide that, hey, I can now make a living and some money going MMA?
Okay, so there's a couple things with that I really want to touch on. One, we talk as if Jordan Burroughs is old. I mean, he's like, what, 31, 32, something like that?
I'm not sure his exact age.
Yeah, he's not. It's not like he's super
no
old. But secondly, the thing is I don't think we'll see as much of a mass exodus as you think. And
it just feels like every other time you look at something, somebody's going. Pat Downey, I mean, he's our current guy. Granted, everybody assumes automatically it's going to be David Taylor, but we haven't seen David Taylor compete yet since said injury, so it's hard to say with 100% certainty. And he was talking about how well he was just treated on a promotion recruiting trip for these things, and talking about if these companies now are seeing the value of wrestling, and it's almost going to be, it's good kind of for you and Quasi, who are a little bit more of a UFC fan than I am, or fighter fan, because it's going to, I think, have a resurgence of great fighters now again, versus now there are great fighters now, but it seems like there was a time when wow, you had these guys that were fighting, and there were a lot of names, but they weren't all quite there. Now I think it's almost somewhat watered down in some cases, and there's only a couple names, it seems like we're gonna have a big influx of names that could really fill out those spots, which is great for that sport. But what does it do? What does it do to wrestling?
I will say that, and this is something I've not put any thought. Look, literally, this is just popping in my head.
Yeah, because I've sat on this because I hadn't told you, because I wanted to get your genuine reaction to it.
I think we've had half conversations here and there, but here's a thing that I kind of want to maybe just poke at, and see what you think. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't. Like I said, this is the first time I've had this idea. What if it's not necessarily as much an exodus as a resurgence by basically having these guys who are hybrid athletes or dual sport athletes, in a sense? They stay with wrestling, they compete in wrestling in their off time, but they're also going to be training for fights, and they're going to be taking fights here and there until they have to get to a point where I guess they're going to have to make a decision.
I think that would be an awesome thing to see, but I just don't think that will happen, because I think once people make the focus or decision to go MMA, they want to go
like Dake, for instance. Let's talk about Dake. I can see it like this. Dake, if he makes the Olympic team, if he beats Burroughs and makes the Olympic team, wrestling will obviously be his focus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he doesn't make the team, I see him making a slight MMA run up until the next Olympic year, when he's going to have to take out Burroughs. And then that's when he'll probably put his focus back more towards wrestling again.
See, I think, for a lot of these guys, that the wrestling grind is so hard and so much on the body and everything that they've focused 100% to that. That I think, and this is just me, I think when they decide that they were going to go MMA, that decision is full-fledged. I'm going MMA. My wrestling will always be my wrestling, but I'm probably not going to compete in wrestling anymore. As soon as I start taking shots to the head or somebody punching me, I'm going to focus on not getting punched in the face anymore.
Like Ben Askren did.
With the passion that I did with the wrestling.
Minus his last two fights.
Which I think is a smart go. I mean, once I change my training to one of hey, I'm going to wrestle, I'm going to put you on your back, I want to be the best in the world, to, hey, I want to do the same thing otherwise, but now you're punching me in the face. It's, let me make sure that I focus on not getting punched too many times in the face.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
if I continue to do this wrestling, there's a stylistic thing, and especially like you mentioned, with Greco being the, not necessarily, I don't want to use the word better, but the wrestling style that correlates better with UFC through what you've said with the stats.
I'll say it's better. Someone's got to stick up for Greco.
I love Greco, but
no,
but the style,
really does,
the style of freestyle,
it
translates better. But if they continue to use wrestling as their focus, you're translating to getting your face kneed in, or like being bent over and getting choked out, because that's style. So you've got to. So that's why I don't think once they make that jump in
Yeah, they're committed to.
They're committed to it, unless they decide that okay, I'm going to take a break from MMA for the next 2 years to get ready for the Olympic style, and I'm coming back to. So for me, it's they're going to be all in until they're all in back in whichever way it could go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, this was an idea that just popped in my head.
Yeah, no, I kind of like the idea, but at the same time,
yeah, I mean, because it would be cool. And then part of me wants to think that if there is a mass exodus, which. Understandably, if there is, I can understand why, because there's more money there. They're thinking about their livelihood. And all
I was thinking about it the other night, and I was just like, man, there's more and more guys going, and
we're kind of reverting back in a way to the old UFC. Like when we think about it, like we start now. We're looking at
kind of started with a lot of wrestlers.
It started out with a lot of wrestlers.
Dennis Hall and all those guys when they showed up.
We had,
and they kind of brought.
It was kind of like different arts, and now it's like you don't have so many arts as much as you have. Like you just have styles. It's like, okay, now you have the striking, you have the wrestling, and then you have the jiu-jitsu guy. And now it's like those are the three, I guess, categories. Yeah. And it's almost like there's like a resurgence of which one's the best again.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the wrestlers are wanting to put their hat in and be like, oh, we're going to show you that wrestling is going to be the best one.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, people can agree with me, but that's what I really think. Like when... And I'm not saying this hasn't been discussed before as far as like, oh, this guy is a great grappler and this guy is a great striker. How will they match up? I feel like it's just more so now becoming a popular thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we start looking at, when we looked at the Conor Khabib thing, it's like you have a great grappler and you have a good striker. Like, where are we going to go with this? Or the Damian Maia Ben Askren thing. Everyone wanted to see that simply because it was the best jiu-jitsu guy and like one of the best MMA wrestlers, although we could make an argument that Ben, him being injured and all that stuff, it's not been in his prime. But then again, I mean, there's excuses we can make there. But no, I mean, really, we're kind of seeing that resurgence of the debate of which one's the best again. And to me, it's kind of like it's almost kind of remembering the early UFC days of is it karate, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, sumo, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, like which one's the best? Now, like I said, now everything's kind of tunneled into, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, striking, and we're trying to figure out who's the best again.
Yeah.
And I do think wrestling will come out on top, but
I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm biased, but
Oh, I'm gonna say I'm biased.
I am, but I'm also right. But yeah, wrestling.
Yes. No, I mean, there is statistical evidence to prove
that. We're there with that. Yeah, so for sure.
I mean, we can be biased, but at least our bias is justified.
Justified bias. Yes. So
absolutely.
I got you. All right, cool. Now, we said it is January 28th. We're about to be into February.
Which is a month before March.
Yes. So we're getting into calendars. Awesome.
I know, right?
So, but no, we were talking about. High school's getting ready to come up on regions, upper states,
timing. That next week?
Regions, I think, is actually Saturday at Burns.
This Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday.
I might swing by.
If I was looking at the calendar right. But anyway, so we're getting to that stage, which also means if middle school wrestling for us just ended, so high school wrestling is coming into its postseason, which then means after pretty much kind of timing wise, it kind of trends. Everything gets a little bit longer, so that means college wrestling is about to be hitting their conference tournaments right after we hit ours. So normally they have the conference tournaments right at the beginning of is it really the beginning of March? Because that's right around when North South is, and then we're getting into March Madness, where we're getting to our NCAA's, and so we wanted to go ahead and throw down an early pick. I don't think we necessarily need to pick our. We don't have to do like top 4 or even like who. Well, we can if we want. We'll just look at the weights as we go. But
I would say let's just do one right now because there's a lot of.
Pick a winner right now, and then when we do once everybody is in, we will do our traditional who faces who in the finals.
Okay, we can do that.
Talk. And go from there. So,
do you want to say who faces who? Because we don't know what the brackets are going to look like.
No, we don't. But we can kind of. If we want, we can go just who we think's going to win, or we can go who we think is going to face up in the finals, and then kind of go from there.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Let's just kind of play it by ear. I'll pull up a document here. I'll type it up from here. Did that lock up on me? No, it's just slow now. No, I think that I can.
So, who wants to go first? We'll flip a coin. And I don't have a coin on me.
All right, so I'll go first then. And then
I had a really good one for 125. I've already got my picks.
All right, so I'll let you go for 125 then.
Okay, so 125. I've got in the finals. I guess we're gonna go top two, like whoever they're gonna face in the finals. I was hoping we just go top one because this depends on bracketing and all that good stuff, and we don't know that yet. But if I'm gonna have to go finals, ooh, no, close.
You didn't? Okay.
I was gonna say Glory. That was my first pick actually. He already had Lee and Piccinini. I'm actually gonna.
You going to go Glory?
I'm going Glory.
I'm not surprised at you.
Yeah.
All right.
But no, Piccinini was my first choice, and then the more I've watched Pat Glory this year, I'm like, depending on where he is in the brackets, and say depending if he's 3 or 4, I feel like because Spencer Lee, I feel it's going to be 1, obviously. I feel if Pitch is going to be 4, that puts him on the same side as Lee, if I'm not mistaken. And if Glory is 3, that puts him on the same side as Mahler, and I feel Glory beats Mahler from Virginia, so that's my picks.
All right, so I got Lee pitch winner, and then no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no, he really wrote it. That means it's in stone.
I wrote it, but no, right now until I see one Lee, they're doing like kind of the pitch count. They haven't.
I said Mueller. I meant Mueller. My bad.
Yeah. I think all his wins have come from bonus this year so far too. So I think he's on track for, just pulled off. But I think Lee pitch in the finals. It's just, yeah. But I guess my also thought with that right now is like seeing how Pitch beat him before. I guess yes, I know he caught him in the split and caught him in the cradle, and yes, you would say that you're smart enough not to get caught in that situation again. I don't know. There's just something about Pitch this year that I think if somebody can knock off Lee, it could be Pitch. So, all right, 133.
Your turn to go first.
All right, my turn to go first.
You want to pull weights? Pull up the rankings. RBY is really that high. Interesting.
Ah, man. And
He's got Chaz Tucker winning it all. I'm kidding.
No, I actually earlier on I said I was gonna go Gross until I see a reason why not to go with Gross. And it hasn't been that I haven't seen Gross do anything not spectacular or anything like that, but it's actually DeSanto. Like I just earlier beginning of the year, DeSanto's 3rd place, top 5 guy. And then just the way he's wrestled all year, I've been like, dude, he is just like, he is getting after it. He is on it and on it and on it. And then like his last match, he had an interview and he said something to the nature of,
what did I just do?
You just full screened it. And he was like, you know what?
How do we get
it's just on the other page somewhere.
Alright.
That's fine. It's still recording over there too. But it was to the nature of, I've got to get better in this situation. So it's not like him just being full throttle type thing.
Sorry, I'm
like,
trying to fix the camera that I've done.
That you've done. Like, it's not just he's full throttle, but like he's also. There it is.
Yeah,
oh, no.
it completely went into a
you
different
went
screen.
into another screen.
Oh well, I can pull it up right from where
yeah. But he was talking about how he needs to get better in situations, so it's showing his growth as well. So I was like, dude, if he's got that growth mindset and his style of offense that he's just going bat boot crazy with, like I'm like, dude, right now I'm gonna go ahead and pick him as this is his year. At the beginning of the year, I would not have said that. Right now, I'm like, I think he can do it.
So I've also got in the finals Gross and DeSanto. I've been back and forth on this one just because we've had DeSanto take 1 and we've had Gross take 1.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I think that, Gross is phenomenal. No one can really deny that one. But on the other hand, DeSanto has that intensity and that like giant killer type mentality that it can be a problem for some people if it's in a big moment.
And I think in the past though that has like done him wrong as well. Like he's overly aggressive with it all. But right now I feel like he's not like it's that perfect combination of like he is giant killer, but he's also realized lean back a little bit before I go.
And for that, oh, I really want to say Gross, but I'm gonna go to Santa.
Oh wow.
I don't know. This one's a tough one for me, but I've been back and forth on. I mean, we've had this conversation
He has.
hundreds of times all year, but I can't deny Seth Gross is amazing. So we're at 41.
Copied me again. Jeez. I mean, oh, what?
So we got Luke Pletcher, and then I'm also gonna say he's gonna go against Real Woods just because I love the name.
I hate you.
Yeah. And I've got Luke Pletcher winning, just simply because Luke Pletcher, what he's done this year, has practically anything that I've doubted him in years past of, not being the guy to rack up the bonus points and him just kind of skating by with his wins. This year he's really completely just blown that out of the water. I mean, he's wrecking guys left and right. Not only, these are ranked guys he's beating.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, for that, I'm going to go Luke Pletcher.
I'm not against you on Pletcher. This is Pletcher's year. He's wrestling like it's his year. Like nobody can stop him and take it from him. What I'm mad at you for is taking Woods, because dadgummit, I just like saying Real Woods, and Real Woods is legit.
It's the coolest name.
Like, yeah, I don't see why. I said it last year. I mean, you remember Southern Scuffle. I was like, this dude could, podium last year.
Freshman. He's a redshirt freshman. This guy right here, though.
So,
this is one that is being really slept on, in my opinion, and that's Mitch McKee.
I don't think he's being slept on.
I think, everyone, with all the talk about Pletcher, I think we're just kind of... It's almost like that thing with... thing we were talking about the other day with Miles Martin and... Miles Martin. Miles Martin and Bo Nickel. It's not that he's being slept on, but it's almost like, yeah, but there's this guy. And we have to really... I don't know. Like I said, I think people need to keep an eye on Mitch McKee.
Yeah, no,
come NCAA.
Nah, for real. Yeah.
He might be the bracket buster. He could be one that could mess
really
people's bracket up.
Bracket buster. He's ranked like 4th or 5th right now.
Oh yeah, well, because if he's 4th, that means he would have to meet. If he's 4th, that means he meets. Yeah, so it'd be so far in the tournament.
I don't consider that bracket buster. I think somebody that he's gonna place where he needs to place, and it's gonna, depend on.
Yeah, I take that back, because for some reason I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, okay, if he runs into like a top ranked guy early on, but if he's, I think right now they have him at 4. I just took the screen off, but if they have him at 4, it's not even going to be relevant. But then again, like I said, once the seeding comes out, then we can really start breaking this stuff down, like who's going to be, like what are the matchups going to be that we need to look for. 49, you go.
Me? There you go. Boo! You go.
Okay.
This is where Boo was out last year from Okie State, and G Feller was in for him much of the year. I like how Boo wrestles. Granted, he's undefeated right now. Obviously, how can you not like that? But I really like his style of wrestling. I think he's fun to watch. I think there's something about him that after being out the previous year and him getting after it this year, he is on track. Now, if Boo was not in there, I'd almost say, surprisingly so, I would want Lugo. I did not think going into the year would be the guy. Like they brought him in from not from Edinburgh, and they thought he was going to be what he is now.
Yeah.
Then, but he proved to be kind of like, I think it was like a gas tank issue. It seemed like, and not quite that guy. But this year he kind of really has seemed like that guy. That's the reason why they brought him in, and he's a senior now, so it's kind of like, hey, they brought me in for a reason. I'm going to make that reason come to life and truth, and I think he's been wrestling that way this year. This cat, Sammy Sasso, beat him in OT. I think Sammy Sasso is going to be a phenomenal wrestler and be a 2 to 3 timer. But I think at that tournament, it's his freshman year. He might prove me wrong. He doesn't. It's not like when Hidley was a true freshman, it seemed like there was just a laser focus of like, I didn't see somebody stopping him. Like Sammy Sasso, I see like possibly making that freshman mistake and doing something that he shouldn't have done, and like just trying a little too hard and reaching because he made that little bit of pressure on
Hidley
him.
had a maturity about him.
It just felt different when watching him.
No, 100%.
So, but a lot of people got Sasso as number one right now. I just think that he gets knocked and he can go anywhere from third to sixth.
Yeah.
Depending on how he rebounds from that.
Because you went first on this one and we've agreed the past two, I'm going to have to change my picks up just to make it kind of interesting.
Tell me you didn't have Boo as well.
No, I did.
Okay.
No, I did.
Well, which one you changing then?
So I'm riding with my guy Austin O'Connor. I feel like he's definitely gonna be in that finals match. I'll say Boo stays in. Originally, I was thinking, you know what, I might switch Lugo with Boo, but I'm with you. Like, Boo is really, really impressive this year. But I'm not gonna have him winning though. I'm gonna say O'Connor so we can disagree on this.
Yeah, crapper wins.
Speaking of which, UNC apparently broke the top 10 for the first time since 1996.
After beating
number 8
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, they're number 8. Which
they made a big jump from then.
Yeah, because I've been talking a lot of trash saying how they didn't live up to the hype that I had for them at the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they heard that because they've turned it on this back half since Christmas break ended. Since January. So you went first on this one. That means it's me.
Yep.
Obviously Hayden Hidley. And you know what? Oh, do I want to do this? Man. Who does Hidley go against? That's going to be the big one. There's part of me that wants to have like a underdog type. Yeah, I mean I've got Hidley winning, but part of me wants to have this underdog type guy come in and win this, or not win it, but make it to the finals. And I don't know. I'll stay Deacon. I'll keep Deacon in the finals. I'm not gonna say, yeah. I was gonna go Caleb Young from Iowa.
Oh, see, that wasn't even the one I was gonna go with.
You were thinking David Carr?
Yeah, actually,
those were my two between David Carr and Caleb Young. I feel like they're gonna be. Those are gonna be the ones that. I don't want to say you're gonna surprise anybody because everyone knows that they're legit. But
I just like the way Carr's wrestling right now.
Yes.
Like he's just like he looks ready.
Yeah, both. I mean, I've got Hidley winning.
So yes, for sure. Yeah, in case you hadn't figured it out, I had Hidley Carr, Hidley winning.
Yeah.
It's not next topic type thing for me, but like I got Hidley. Like, yeah.
65. Oh, Quasi, where are you when we can have a great conversation about this? You know my answer. I've said it 100 times on this one. But you're first on this one.
Whitlake?
Yeah.
All right.
Kennedy Monday.
Just because of my bias to things, and my craziness.
Yeah, so look at you going with an ACC guy.
Huh?
Whitley in the finals. He's not his pick, but yeah. Interesting.
McFadden is. Wait, did McFadden just get destroyed by somebody? Who beat McFadden? Or did McFadden beat? Who was the match McFadden was in? There's somebody. I don't know. I like McFadden. I think he's going to be a top guy. Virginia Tech's going to have some good stuff going on. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm just a Bull fan too, and this pick is almost based off of like just fandom.
Yeah.
Like
How do you do this? No, I was pushing me.
So, with mine, I hate that you went first because I've got to make my pick now, and with my who'd you have in yours? Did you write it?
Oh, did I?
No, you did.
No, I did. It just got. Oh wait, hold on. Let me just do this. See if it comes back.
There
It
we
is,
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got McFadden in the Bull.
You can go Bull winner. I want to see. I want to see him do what he's done at Big Tens at the NCAA tournament.
I'm gonna go against every. I don't want to say go against because it's not that I'm gonna pick him to win. But Chinzo Joseph, we're going Chinzo and Marinelli, and I've got Marinelli winning. And Quasi right now is having an aneurysm.
Not really, because he knew you were gonna do it. But
Oh yeah, but he's gonna. I can sit there hear him right now. How do you pick it against Chinzo?
gonna do every time.
Exactly.
Stop.
All right.
Stop. For those of you listening, yeah, so looking at it. Let's say 170.
74.
178.
4 pound allowance.
Stop. You keep pressing the button. You're messing it up. Alright. Just go watch TV upstairs for a second. Alright.
All right. So for me, we got Mark Hall, and I'll go.
You going upstairs? Okay. No press there.
Man. For this one, I'm torn between two people for the other spot. Both Kimmer and Cutler. I'm very torn because I like the way I love the way Cutler wrestles. I like the way Kimmer wrestles. I'll go Kimmer and then I say Mark Hall. Mark Hall wins.
No, not today.
What?
Not today, buddy. Oh, when I'm done, you can look at this. Yeah. Alright, so, I don't know how. No, you can use when we're done. Okay. Hall is right now to me almost the seemingly like almost. I could be wrong, but he just seems like Mr. Consistent.
Yeah. It's
for,
almost
for Penn State.
It's almost.
But
kind
he's
of
also
boring
the
to watch.
guy that is not talked about as much this year.
Yeah.
Like in past couple years, he'd been talked about a lot. But I'm like, he is the epitome of Mr. Consistency for them right now.
Yeah, it's almost like a
But
boring
with
thing.
all the trouble going on in the heavyweight, not trouble, but with like all the stuff that happened with the heavier weights, getting hurt and, what's his name coming in and also getting hurt. Cannell coming in, Kazar, leaving wrestling forever, I just think all that talk has been there. Talk about their lightweights, not quite being there, and one guy goes back in the transfer portal. It's like the guy, Mr. Consistency, is not being talked about at all. I was gonna go, JoJo Smith from Oklahoma State. No, actually, I'm surprised.
I will say this about Hall, like I was saying, and people are gonna, if they heard what I was saying, but it's like almost to the fact that when you watch Mark Hall, it's kind of boring. Not that his style or anything's boring. It's just he's so consistent that you know the result.
Yeah,
It's just like watching, like we've had this conversation about Anderson Silva in his prime.
a lot
there
of
was a-
fighters. They got so good that
It's just like, okay, you know what happened. It's like the next topic thing
Yeah.
in a way.
But I got Hall. Kemmer, I think looks great. I think him going up a weight is great. I want to see that matchup. I just want to see them. Now, does Penn State and Iowa wrestle this year, or is
don't know.
it? I think they might. I don't know. Big Tens and them. Whether I got to look at the schedule. I can't remember who Iowa wrestles. They wrestle somebody big. I can't remember if it actually is Penn State this year, but whether it be that duel in Big Tens, I think and getting to see Kemmerer with these guys at that weight at that
Yeah.
tournament, may change how things go on over here, which is pretty big. So, all right, 184.
Yeah, I think it's your pick.
184. All right, take the ball off here. All right, so I got Valencia. This has almost been as much as the next topic as you can get. And I got. How do you spell it? Belong from Northern Iowa. So.
Solid pick. That's one guy I was.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I still got Valencia in it. Winner, chicken dinner. Or... Yeah. Dude, I like you and I right now.
Yes.
I like how they wrestle. They're just. So. Which I'm kind of surprised there was somebody else I thought I was going to pick to make the finals earlier on, but I didn't.
So,
Right.
for the sake of just being different here, I agree with you. It's always Valencia. Next topic. Getting ballsy. I'll go Hidley. I was gonna say just to be different. I was gonna say Hidley and Lewan in the finals, just so we're a little bit different. But no, I'm actually, because I don't want to. Like I said, I want to have some sort of variety. I'm gonna go Hidley wins. I think that's gonna be the one that's people are gonna be like, what?
You mean when I picked against Nolf every year, or not every year for the last 2 years? Like when, and I should have been right. What, last year?
Yeah, you should have been.
Like, and I've been picking against him, and I was like, this is my bracket winner right here. Like picking Hidley to beat Nolf, and everybody's like, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, that's my bracket winner.
Yeah.
And NCAA's like ruined me.
So, for 197, I'm gonna go Colin Moore and Biceps Brucky.
I hate you. Yeah. You go first.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go Brucky as far as the winner. My reasoning for this is just because for me it's when it comes to
biceps, Tyler's in the. I mean,
yes, that's the only reason. One of this is just because when it's come to NCAA's, Colin Moore has always found a way to kind of disappoint me.
Oh, I thought it was because you wanted to call Brucky Bray Bucky.
Bay
Bucky. Hey, Bay.
Yeah.
Brucky.
Bye.
And you buy now?
Yeah, bye.
Oh,
Sexually attracted to biceps.
By Brucky Bay.
Yeah. But when it comes to Colin Moore, he's always
I'm
found a
gonna
way
leave
to
now, guys. I'm sorry.
always found a way to disappoint me when it comes to NCAA time, and I mean he's been good this year. Can't deny it, but I don't know. I just, like I said, always finds a way to disappoint me in NCAA's. So I'm gonna keep on that trend and be like, he's not beating Brucky.
Oh yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna even make a claim and say that he loses in the first 2 rounds.
Then how do you have him in the finals?
Well, because right now we're just doing this for the list. I'm trying to be
Oh.
safe. I'm trying to be safe on this.
He's being idiot. Go ahead and pick. All right. Well, fine then. All right. Look.
Just watch.
Just fine then. Okay. Never mind. I'll keep more in.
Yeah, see, you were gonna do it. Darmstadt, nice.
Yeah.
He was one that I said that we need to watch out for.
Yeah, you had eyes on him. Was it last year?
Yeah, last year.
So,
I like what Cornell's doing. I like the.
I love what Cornell's
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's amazing what the guys that they have, the amount of potential that those guys have. So, Darmstadt is one of my guys.
Yeah, I like Darmstadt a lot. I got him in the finals right now against Colin Moore, and I got Moore taking it and going with it from there.
So we're still good on here.
Yeah.
Now heavyweight, that's yours.
Oh, I get to go heavyweight first, huh?
Oh.
Paris ain't making the finals.
Oh.
Paris not making finals. No. Not
This one
gonna
hurts.
happen.
This one hurts me. This one hurts me a lot.
Now, this is just based off of, I got Stevenson making the finals because I haven't seen a reason why he shouldn't make the finals. Like,
Yeah.
Other than his lack of, like, wrestling, is something else going on. But you know who I like watching wrestling? Everywhere.
Yes.
Cassiope.
It would not be a prediction video. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead and hit your final, though.
Paris winning in the final. No. How did he didn't pick him as one of the two? again, this one I think can change because I don't have a reason to not pick Stevenson. Like when Stevenson wrestles, Stevenson wins. Especially with Cassar out, it's kind of like it was Cassar and Stevenson. Right now, Cassar's out. Or Caesar, Cassar, however you want to say his name, he's out. So in my book, it's Stevenson. Even though now I'm like, well, I haven't seen him wrestle in a while. Is there something else going on? So once we find out a little bit more, and see him, then I'll know for sure. But right now, I don't have a reason not to. But Cassiope, dude, is like, and what's fun about Cassiope is, and it's not a knock, but like he's not what the physical physique looking like eyeball test that we've been seeing, like Paris and Stevenson and Cassar. The way they look, like he doesn't look out of shape, but he's just a little bit rounder. But dude moves and he works on top.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like Adam Kuhn. Adam Kuhn was not some big
buff he
dude.
did.
He was skinny up top. He just had giant legs.
But man, when Cassiope gets on top,
he's on top.
Working like he is. I mean, it is constant pressure, and I've really enjoyed watching him wrestle.
So it would not be a prediction video if I did not completely homer out and go with the Michigan guy to completely do everything. Mason, Paris, and Stevenson in the finals. Stevenson wins, though. Yeah. As much as I want to pick Mason, it's on right now. It's Stevenson. Just Gable is he's a freak. He's a freak at that weight. Mason, although he is, he like you said, he passes that eyeball test. He's the heavyweight you'd want.
Yeah.
Right now, I just think Gable's on a different level. But no, Paris definitely is going to be in there with him. And put some respect on that. That's 2 R's, not 1.
Where? Whatever. Whatever.
It would not be a video if I didn't homer out at least once.
Okay, actually, all right. So I just highlighted where we are actually different in our picks. All right, so going through it, 125, we both got Lee as the winner. We'll just look at the winners right now. We'll go more into depth about like who makes it there. 133, we both actually picked DeSanta, which I really didn't think you were going to pick DeSanta today.
I go back and forth on a daily basis.
Yeah, I really didn't think you were going to.
That's the tough
141, we're both Pletcher. 149, you got O'Crapper, and I got Boo.
Disrespectful.
I know. I actually like O'Connor too. That's O'Connor. I apologize 100%.
No, he doesn't.
Was just
he
really,
doesn't. He cheers for an NC State guy. Come on now. Although I picked him to win too.
So. I was about to say, I was like, how do you? So yeah, I got Boo. You got O'Connor. 57. I mean, and 49 is our first different one. 57, we both got Hidley. 65, we both got the Bull. 74, we both have Hall. 84, that's where you fell off your rocker a little bit. Picked Hidley over Valencia. I picked Valencia. And then 197.
This really wasn't water that was in here. Okay.
Yeah, that's when he went Babe Rucky, and I went Moore, and we both picked Stevenson in the end. Yeah. So 1, 2. Well, yeah, 3 weights were different. I thought it was 4. Yeah. Oh, we were just on the phone. So yeah,
we did have 4.
Stevenson.
49, 84, 97, 285. Oh no.
Yeah. So just 3 weights where we're different. So we will make changes to this obviously when it comes time for our actual picks.
Because once we see the bracket layouts,
once we see the brackets, we'll make our picks. We'll have our wing bet, and then we will have our before the finals, and then obviously before finals, when we know who's in the finals, we'll make the changes to that. Team. We can do team.
You want to say who wins the tournament team-wise?
Iowa.
Yeah. Hands down.
Yeah. So, and then just got taken out. Okay. Wow, thanks, bud.
Hey, what me out?
Okay, and then, so we'll get our actual bracket predictions in, and then we will also do the finals. Who actually, when we see who actually makes finals.
It seems so far away too.
It seems so far away, but I think it's gonna come up really quick.
It's gonna come up quicker than we thought.
Yep. So, all right, guys, cool enough. I think we got a good video in today, and we will. I guess catch you. You wanna say bye?
Bye.
All right. Well, let me hold on. No. You gotta click on that one. Oh boy. All right. See you guys. And let me close off the quick time.
Nobody's listening. Bye bye.